Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I tell you what, I swear one of these days we'll get something to work right. Tonight is not that night, though. My kids, the last 3 or 4 nights, they just refuse to go to sleep when they know they're supposed to go to sleep. And the boy especially, he gets to this point where he just loses his mind. And then he yells and he screams until eventually he yawns this big giant yawn and then just goes thud and falls asleep. And oh, it's the most frustrating thing ever. In the grand scheme of life, I guess, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. But right now, it certainly feels like it. And I definitely need a drink, which is a good thing because that's a big part of what this show is about. It's about drinking together. It's about shrugging off the concerns of the week and of the day and grabbing a drink together like a happy hour. And because of that, everybody is supposed to chime in and tell us what you are drinking, which everybody seems to be doing a good job of that. I don't have my mouse. It's in the other room, so I can't scroll properly. Let's see. Josh is having a Rheingeist Terror Bird. Marco is having a Psychopathy. Julia is finishing up Mad Tree's Double C in Colors. Then Marco wants to know where everybody is. I'm right here. I'm at home. Grace says that it sounds like I need bourbon. You might be right. We'll see. Actually, bourbon is not one of my options. I guess it could be. We could change things if we need to. But I do have something special planned for this week's episode for various reasons, but partially just because I've been on a cocktail kick, and I know we don't talk about cocktails nearly enough on this show. And I have some kind of booze-related news to talk about. So we're going to make a cocktail, but I thought it would be more fun if instead of me just whipping up some kind of random cocktail that I know that I enjoy, if you guys kind of helped me out. Also, what is going on with our chat here? I wonder why it's not... Oh, it's because it's... I did notice that last time. There we go. The chat is up there. There it is. You can always take part in the chat. You guys know how that works. You can also call in. There is a drunk line. You can call. The number is right there on the screen. 567-70-DRINK. That's 567-703-7465. Right there. Write it down. Put it in your phone, and you can call into the show that way, and we can drink cocktails together on the phone, like it's, I don't know, 1998. we talk on the phone. Anyways, what I figured we would do is some kind of a crowd-sourced cocktail. I have grabbed several different bottles of booze. I have some boozy booze. Then I have some sweeter booze, and I have a whole bunch of citrus, and then some bitters to kind of top things off. Here's the question that I have for you guys. I can just tell you what I have sitting here, and then the first person that picks something will use that. Or we could go and I did grab some index cards, so we could do it kind of random, where I write down. There's like 3 of each. There's like 3 booze, 3 sweet, 3 citrus. We could write them on here and put numbers on it, and you guys pick a number, and then we'll reveal the one. So you guys tell me which way is more fun for you. If you want to try to throw me off and make a cocktail that is not good, you might need to know what the ingredients are. Or if you just want it to be completely random, we could do that too. It doesn't really matter to me. The whole thing is kind of cheating, which is kind of the bigger conversation I want to talk about, is kind of how to put together a cocktail successfully, not really knowing what ingredients you are going to have. Grace says, not completely random. That's fine. We'll, Julia says, I like the number cards idea. Josh says, nothing but bitters. I enjoy bitters a lot. I would be okay with that. Maybe not nothing but bitters. There is, so one of the bitters, not to give too much away, one of the bitters is Angostura. It's a go-to. But Angostura makes an Amaro, a a bitter drink that is very strongly flavored like their bitters, and it's delicious. Number cards are completely random. One more person vote, and then we'll do it that way. And hurry, because I'm thirsty. And then we can get to this week's news and labels. There are some really good labels, and actually some of the labels. All right, Marco says cards. Do we want to start with booze, citrus, or the sweet component? You guys tell me. And why you discuss here. Let me put it somewhere where you can't see what I'm writing. All right, we have that, and we have that. Remember what I brought. Marco says booze first. Okay. All right, there's that. Here's our booze selections, and we'll go 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna write them all here so that I have that done. All right, and then our sweet. I forgot what that one was called. I've actually never made a cocktail with that, so if I remember right, it's sweet. It's possible it's not. Excuse my handwriting, because I'm kind of scribbling pretty quickly here. 2, and then this one. And I'll explain the kind of the cheating formula that we're going to do. And then citrus, we have, I guess, citrus isn't much of a surprise. You guys can probably guess what the ingredients are going to be. And actually, one of them is not super sour. All right, we've got that. And then we'll add the bitters as needed, or if needed. All right, we'll start with the booze. So we have 3 different selections. Julia says booze, then citrus, then sweet. All right, I have 3 cards, 1, 2, and 3. You guys can see them. First person that picks one gets, all right, Grace says 3, rum. If you can see it. There is rum. All right. Number 3 is rum. I'll put those over there. So kind of the cheating method that I'm going for here, which actually I could just put it in here, but I won't. There is a formula that probably I would say 8 times out of 10 kicks out a good cocktail, no matter what you're putting in it. And it is 3, 2, 1. Let me make sure I'm not making that up. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Yeah, okay, so 3 parts booze, 2 parts sweet, and 1 part sour. And then you can kind of tweak those a little bit after that. But 3, 2, 1. So 3 parts booze, and we'll go. How big is this thing? Yeah, we'll do. What do we say? Rum. We have the fine Cooper Island Premium White Rum. This has been sitting on my bar for a very long time. And I'm doing it, 1 part will be a half an ounce. So I'm going to do 1.5 ounces of premium white rum. This is not just normal white rum. If you guys end up making me a daiquiri, I'm going to be really excited. That's the thing. Like when you start looking at, ooh, it's going to be all over the desk here. When you start looking at some classic cocktails, you start to see this formula in them. A daiquiri is 3 parts rum, 2 parts sugar? Is that right? And then 1 part lime. Okay. What did we say was next? The citrus. Let me find my citrus pile. There it is. All right, same thing. 1, 2, 3. First person that picks one. Come on, guys, I'm thirsty. 1, 2, 3. This shouldn't be a surprise. Julia says 1. Number 1 is lemon. Okay, put that there. We have lemon. Yeah, this is going to be all over the desk. I didn't bring a cutting board in. I didn't bring anything. Very ill prepared for this. I did bring something to juice the lemon with, though. It's fairly prepared. We'll throw the spent lemon on the ground. It's fine. If you do podcasts about drinking, I guess it's not a shocker if there's cocktail ingredients just on the floor of the studio, right? 2 parts lemon. So 1 ounce of lemon. God, it smells so good. Especially with how nice it was today. It's just a cocktail day. Or like a light, crispy beer day, I guess. All right. 2 parts lemon. Last up, sweet. This could go completely off the rails at this point because I have 3 very different sweet ingredients. 1, 2, 3. Somebody give me a pick here. Grace, is that a pick 3? I believe so. We'll take it. Number 3. Triple sec. That should be fine. We did have Marco says 1. There's maraschino and also sorrel. This was the one I was not too familiar with. If I remember correctly, this is a well, if this goes down fast, we'll make one with something else. Yeah, triple sec is it's a little boring, guys. 1 part triple sec. And I am not going to add any bitters to this. I think it's probably fine the way it is. Well, yeah, we could do some orange bitters. We have some orange bitters. I could... Yeah, that's probably... Marco wants to know if I have ice. Of course I have ice. There we go. It smells fantastic. One thing that we're lacking here in the podcast studio is like an actual bar. I need like a little mini bar in the corner that I can cut over to and make a cocktail. All right. Zach says, I missed last week live. Did you ever get to drink that Urban Artifact? No, because last week we were on location at Northern Row. It's still in there. We'll get there one of these days. And I'm just going to pour this. This actually would probably be a really good, like, just a kind of a neat cocktail, but I'm going to throw it over ice. In a rocks glass. Nothing exciting here, guys. Just like that. All right. We'll see how it is. Crowdsourced cocktail. I'm sure that there's a name for this. This is not like that crazy of a cocktail. Lemon, rum, triple sec. It's almost a margarita. Well, no, because we would have lime, and then obviously tequila. It's like I don't know. There's got to be a name for it. Got to be something. Julia says you didn't do the shaker grind. No. Marco says give it a new name. This is the cocktail that is not a cocktail. Let's see. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. It's kind of like a lemonade. Yeah, like almost exactly like a lemonade. It needs something else. We'll do. I do have some gin. Gin would be pretty good over the top of this. I have some rye whiskey. You know what? Let's try the Sorel. Let's see what that does to it. This was, yeah, like, I don't know if you can see, you guys can't see that. It all settles in here. This is a artisanal liqueur. It's handcrafted. And it doesn't really tell me much. If I remember right, there's like cinnamon or something going on in here. Oh, it's still sealed. Zach wants to know if I ever got to try the new local beer, 3 Primes. I have some sitting around here somewhere, but no, I have not tried it yet. Although it's a good thing to bring up today. That's fits into a lot of the news that I have to talk about. All right, we'll do just a little splash of this because I don't really remember what it tastes like. Just like that. It smells like definitely like spice. I really don't know if it's actually a sweet ingredient, so I'm glad that didn't end up as our sweet component. All right, let's see what that does to this. Oh, we need a garnish too. I guess we garnish it with a lemon, right? Yeah, see, now I have tools and ingredients just all over the desk, which is probably why I need a mini bar in here. Let's see. Julia says that Sorel is made with Moroccan hibiscus blended with Brazilian clove. That's what I'm smelling, the clove. Indonesian cassia and Nigerian ginger. I don't smell the ginger, but definitely getting the cloves. Here we go. Now it's a cocktail. This is the cocktail that's not a cocktail, the drink that's not a drink. Ooh. That's straight up delicious. Yeah, that's actually a perfect drink for today. It's super refreshing. And served over ice like that, it's exactly what it should be. My goodness, that's good. All right, so crowdsourced cocktail. Whether or not it's worth the time, I don't know, but it's delicious, and I should probably write that down so that I can make it again because it was that good. So yeah, everybody write that down. Go make it yourself. The only thing in there that's maybe tough to find is that Sorel because I'm pretty sure you can't get it in Ohio, and it's maybe discontinued in Kentucky. I don't know. It's good though. Yeah. Oh, and that little bit of lemon from the garnish just sits right on top of everything, and you could do something instead of that Sorel to kind of give it that. Maybe just a heavy hit of Angostura bitters would give it some of those darker kind of spicy flavors. I don't know. Maybe I'll try that next. All right. Let's jump into stuff because I've got a couple fun stories today. Should we do? Nope. Let's do news first before we dive into labels because actually I didn't. Labels are gonna be a pain in the butt, and I just realized that. Yeah. Let's. I'm like halfway ready for everything all the time. First up, the Niche Brewing Company. This is not a new brewery. This is a new co-packer here in town. So co-packers, also kind of called contract brewers. Although I guess technically they don't have to brew to be a co-packer. You could just mix things and then put them in cans and send them out the door, which so far is what I've seen from these guys. We do have some labels, which we will over there. We will get to these when we pull up the labels in a little bit. But This is Urban Artifact. Urban Artifact is making products for other people, and they do have a website. And actually, if I can do this, it might help me get ready for the labels here in a little bit. Try this. Nope, that's not it. How about... Well, that doesn't really do it either, but hang on. Just bear with me here. We're getting it. We need this one. There we go. Yeah. So, Niche Brewing Company. This is their whole website. Get in touch, contact, and that is it. And then it just says Cincinnati, Ohio down there. But if you dig into the TTB, you can definitely see that it is urban. So I don't know what that says or if it actually means anything about anything. And we'll talk a little bit about it when we do get to the label approvals, because the first product that we're seeing from them is an interesting one, something that that I want to talk about. It's something that I would like to try. When I first saw it, I was a little bit confused because I saw the labels come through first, and I didn't know if it was an urban product or again the contract idea, but turns out it's contract. It's contract product from niche beverage company. Curious to see what else they end up doing. Yeah, we'll talk about that more. Sorry, I'm all out of sorts here trying to click on 37 different things. Up next, this one I want to talk a little more in depth about. This is another thing that popped up through label approvals. This is called Willow Run. This is a custom bourbon company. They're going to be located on Walnut Street, right across from the Airnoff. There's a little storefront there. They are not a distillery. I think that that's important to note with this, because it's going to kind of look like a distillery. They're going to kind of feel like a distillery, but it is a bourbon blender kind of idea. If you've been or heard of Brain Brew over in Newtown, they're using their technology. They make it is called Woodcraft Bourbon Blender. That's the proprietary technology. Proprietary technology that they are franchising. There's another franchise down in Louisville already that they've done with the same idea. You get these little like machines. It almost looks kind of like almost like a Keurig coffee maker, but there's multiple little things. You can make an entire bottle of whiskey or just one glass of whiskey that is your kind of your spin on it. In fact, I might have a picture of a menu. Maybe. My goodness, guys. Maybe not. I might have to do that, and then... Okay, we'll get there. We'll see if it pops up. So this is a shot of what they anticipate the inside of the place will look like. It is currently a Kickstarter, so you can get on and you can support them that way and get hats and glassware and things like that. With that being said, I don't think that the Kickstarter is going to make it so that they open or don't open. I think it's just a little bit extra to kind of fund things. Marco says it looks empty. It's a rendering from probably the architect or something. I'm sure it won't look this empty when it actually opens. Although who knows? Here's a couple other products, which again we'll talk about when we get to the label approvals. But again, all of this can be changed. All of this can be personalized. You go over to the machine and you tell it that you want this percentage of this type of bourbon, or this type of wood, or this age of a whiskey, and this percentage of that, and this and that, and then you kind of you put it all together, and you can try a glass of it, and if you like that, then you can get a whole bottle of it. you personalize it, which is kind of cool, but it's it's definitely very different than some of the producers that are around town, and I think it's going to be confusing for a lot of people not really understanding what it is. Marco says Ryan Geist has a machine like that for pizza. Kind of. Very similar. Woodcraft bourbon blender. That's kind of what I was talking about. The technology behind it. Here we go. Here's the Your Bourbon Your Way. This is from the place down in Louisville. This is their menu, so pricing may be different and stuff, but it'll be pretty similar to this, how it's all structured, where you can try several different whiskeys, and then you use the app or whatever to make it what you want, and then you can get your whole bottle of your custom whiskey. And I know that aside from the customer-facing thing with it, there are going to be a lot of bars. I don't want to say a lot. There's going to be bars and places that use this to kind of handcraft their own kind of white label whiskey product. Some of them already are. They're around. Anytime you see something from Brain Brew, if you go to Big Ash, they have a lot of spirits behind their bar that is stuff that is from Brain Brew. It's kind of that custom blending thing that it's very interesting. There's an article that I've been kind of trying to figure out how to write for a long time, not a long time, for a while, kind of about what is this next phase in craft beer going to look like where are we headed with all of this stuff. And I've got this theory that I haven't really figured out yet, that we're going to see stuff like this with beer at some point, where you walk into a bar, maybe it's a pour your own thing, maybe it's not, but you are crafting your own beer based on like these building blocks that are on tap. You want something that's lighter and fizzier, so you start with this product, and then you want to add some fruit to it, so you go 25% of this, and then you want a little bit of a bitter kind of kick at the end, so you add this percentage of this at the end, and that mixes and it creates a beer that is specifically for you. Maybe with alcohol, maybe not with alcohol. You're building every single beer based on what you want. I don't think that's a good thing. I don't want it for beer, but I think that's where we're headed. And when I see things like this, and you see that other industries are kind of leaning into that, it just kind of solidifies that in my mind that's something that's going to happen with beer at some point. It's kind of where we're headed as a society, right? Everybody wants their thing, and doesn't really like other people's opinions. Again, not necessarily me, but although I would try it, I think it'd be fun. But case in point, that's a good cocktail. Let's move on. Let's do some labels. Label approvals. There's a bunch of really fun stuff that we had to figure out if we can pull up here. Hang on. Wrong button. I promise one of these days I will get my act together. We need that. And that. Real exciting here, guys. That one's probably better. And then Live shows. So much fun. Live shows. At least this time I can do it here. Like that. Then we gotta figure out how to crop this. I can never remember how to do any of this stuff. This is why I need a producer that just sits here and does this. That never works out like you think it's going to. Here we go. That and that. Ah, there we go. Now we have to guess how much to crop it. Nope, that's wrong. That's closer. About that. We're getting somewhere. That looks good to me. Yeah, close enough. There we go. Oh, Lord. We'll have it all set up one of these days. Julia says, most sips I've taken on the Weekly Pint in a long time. Because it's been one of those nights. Actually, almost finished my drink. Okay, up first, Cincinnati Distilling. This is a peach-flavored whiskey, if you guys can't read that. And still didn't crop it as good as it was supposed to be. That's going to bother me here. Hang on. If I do that. And that. Oh, man. Nothing like doing this in the middle of the show. There, that looks a little bit better. We're getting there. Okay, peach whiskey. Not much to say about it. Peaches, whiskey, it goes together good. I'm sure this is going to be delicious. And we should say with everything that is a label approval, there is no guarantee that any of this stuff will ever be released. This is just stuff that has received approval to be released if the brewery in question decides to do it. So just a note. Yeah, peach whiskey. Not a lot else to take from the label itself. Moving on. This one, look, I'm sure that this is a great beer, but the idea of a Bavarian-style IPA just doesn't make any sense. Bavarian IPAs. Look, I get what it is, and if you're gonna make a hoppy kind of lager, which I assume is about what this is, although it says ale. If you make kind of that in between the two styles, this is probably the right way to tell me what it is and at least let me know what I'm about to order. But man, Bavarian IPA. Collaboration with Brink. Julia says, didn't they do this one before or another collab with Brink? I'm sure they've done a collab with Brink, and they've definitely done plenty of kind of hoppy lagers, especially early on. They were cranking out a bunch. I'm looking right now to see if they've specifically done this one. I'm not seeing it with this name. But I'm sure they've collaborated. But yeah, should be delicious. Looking forward to it. This is a Impact product, so another co-packer here in town. I don't always pull these, but I like to, when I see them come through, I like to pull them just so you guys can see some of the stuff that they're doing, because they do a lot of things out of Impact/Tafts there that we don't really know about. This is a non-alcoholic blonde ale. I find the non-alcoholic stuff still very fascinating, especially when it's stuff like this that I've never seen this around town. I don't know if they even distribute here in this area, so we may never see it on shelves around here, which drives me crazy because I want to try it all. I want to try everything. So partake brewing. I don't know anything about them. I don't know anything about their beer. I don't know if they're full-on non-alcoholic. It says, this fresh, full-body brew brings out the best in all of us with its toasty golden hue and only 15 calories, the perfect pairing while diving into your biggest DIY yet or perfecting your backhand frisbee throw. All right. Those are the only two things you can do while you are drinking that beer. Karrigan. I thought that this was cool because Karrigan is finally starting to push out some new labels and getting some products back out there. It's been a weird kind of story with Karrigan for a while now. This is their barrel-aged rum. This is a wild-looking label, but yeah, I'm all about it. I've gone on record several times to say that at least at one time, I haven't had it for a while. Karrigan's rum, like they're just their base rum, whatever that's called. It's I want to say Blaze. That might be their agave though. I don't know. They're Suga. Suga is the base rum. Is my favorite rum in the city. I think it's delicious, and so obviously I'm also then excited to get my hands on this because I believe they might have released it once, maybe, but I didn't try it then, so I want to try it now. Also from Karrigan, this is their base, which is kind of a very boring name for a product, but it's a vodka, so maybe it should be boring. I think vodka is one of the most boring spirits out there, and if it's not boring, I think it's done wrong. So yeah, it should be boring. Base True Craft vodka, distilled just enough for a clean finish and a taste of Ohio grain. Build it into your favorite cocktail. So yeah, base. It's very, very base. Punch Can. This is your first product from the Niche Beverage Company. The company that they are, they passed on calling it basic, yeah. This is the company that they're making this for is called Juiced Boxes, LLC. They make punch cans and something called punch pouches, which is these drinks inside of a pouch, I guess. It's a vodka seltzer. Yeah, it's a cocktail. Vodka, natural flavor, certified colors, and artificial sweeteners. This is when it first came through, and I saw the label, and it had Urban Artifacts address on it. I did a double take, and I'm like, "What in the world are they doing? This is not Urban Artifact." But it's a product they're making for somebody else, and there's a bunch of them. So hang with me here. This is just the huckleberry flavor. I don't know what a huckleberry tastes like, but that's what this is flavored like. Yeah, 14% ABV. This is the huckleberry lemonade. So huckleberries and lemonade. Again, don't know what a huckleberry tastes like, but this looks refreshing. I like pink drinks. Up next, lemon drop. I can get behind that. Like all this just sounds like super refreshing to me. And 14% is a little steep, but as far as like a cocktail, yeah. Marco says that's how they're going to pay for that laundromat they bought. 100%. They bought pasteurizer, which is super expensive. And yeah, this is definitely a business move to make that make sense. Although I can't imagine you would need to pasteurize this product if it's made with vodka. It's already pretty well just clean. Orange, boring, but probably delicious. Punch Can Punch. Here's the punch flavor. I assume this is fruit punch, but I don't know. It's not Hawaiian punch, but it probably tastes like it. That's it for punch cans. This is next year's or this year's, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's this year. Right? Yeah. Is it already 11? I feel like it was just 10 years, like not that long ago. This is Rheingeist's anniversary beer. They're calling it 11 Hour, an Imperial IPA. No surprise that they're doing an Imperial IPA. They do them really well. It says this Imperial IPA showed up just in time for our 11th birthday and is loaded with a clock-stopping amount of Alora, Mosaic, and Simcoe hops. Cryotech takes the profile up to 11. Sorry, my computer's really far away trying to read the little print. I guess I could zoom in, but then you guys have to zoom in too. It takes the profile up to 11, unlocking time-twisting tropical fruit aromas and ample notes of bright pineapple and sun-kissed melon, all in good time. Yep, I'm all about that. 9%, which is like a nice sweet spot in my opinion for an Imperial IPA. It's better than a 14% punch pouch. So yeah, I'm all about it. I love their Imperial IPAs. Moving on, Sam Adams, the Fresh Pops. We've seen the Fresh Pops come out of the tap room a few times. Cans, obviously. Fresh Pops Lemonade Frosty. God, it sounds so good. I don't know, lemon. There's something about lemon that just sounds refreshing and summery, and maybe it's the sunshine today. I don't know, but this sounds perfect. And then Rocket Pop. We're seeing lots of Rocket Pop flavored beverages this year. We saw maybe a month or two ago the Rocket Pop Sway label come through. So yep, we're gonna see all kinds of Rocket Pop. Marco says it's in your drink. Lemon, maybe. Not Rocket Pop. I don't have any Rocket Pops around here, although I would put it in this drink if I had one. Queen City Crown. This is their annual thing they do for 513 Day with Everything Cincy, a collaboration. It's a peach cream ale. It's Julia says, I wonder if you could taste the popsicle stick in that one. Every time I hear somebody talk about the Bomb Pop seltzer, they definitely talk about the stick, and every time I just want to ask questions of what they're talking about. Anyway, Queen City Crown, it's delicious. I love this beer. Moving on, Still Rights, which, if anybody doesn't know, is a March 1st brand. This is their salted caramel rum. If you've never had their spice rum, it's really good. I think I've probably had a couple of the moonshine flavors years ago, but other than that, it's just the spice rum, in my opinion, that I've had. I think it's fantastic, and I'm sure that this kind of continues along that path of products. I don't know what other Still Rights products are out there right now. Maybe somebody can chime in what they've seen in stores or know it exists. But move on. There's a couple Taft's products. Frisch's. They have been doing this Frisch's Pumpkin Pie Ale for the last few years. This takes that collaboration, moves it into to something 2 times a year, if not year round. This is their Strawberry Pie Ale. I like this label a lot. I love, obviously, the checker board kind of print at the bottom, but I also love kind of the parchmenty kind of color to it. If this looks like in my head it's going to look on a can, I think it's going to look great. But the only good thing about Frisch's anymore is the beers they do with Taft's, because everything about Frisch's is just miserable ever since this new company bought them a couple years ago. The food's not good. It's not good. Pumpkin pie's still okay, I guess. Man, that's delicious. Moving on. Raspberry Sorbet Ale. It is smooth and sippable. This is a perfect summer beer. Although this also kind of has that weird kind of color to it, that kind of papery kind of look. Marco says food has always been mid. I don't remember it being as bad as it is now, personally. Raspberry Sorbet Ale, I don't know how you go wrong with that. Again, great summer kind of flavor. Moving on, Urban Artifact, A Girl and Her Dog. This is a Pear American fruit tart. I don't know the story here. Is this? Let's see. I'm gonna have to zoom on this one so I can read. I'm old, guys. All right. It says. The Girl and Her Dog honors the companion animals that have played a crucial role in supporting our wellness and mental health in a society still functioning on inequality. Having a source of unconditional love and acceptance is a powerful antidote. Julia says, I think that was what they did for Women's Day. That would make sense. Except it's a dog. It's a girl and her dog, I guess. I guess it makes, I don't know. It should be for, like, is there a dog day? Is there some kind of, like, dog holiday? This Pear-American Fruit Tart is dedicated to the women that have worked tirelessly for equality. There we go. It's dedicated to the women and their canine animal supporters that have been a comforting presence during moments of darkness. Our dog, cat, and other friends can be an important and invaluable light and encouragement. A percentage of proceeds from this collaboration will fund the Women in Brewing Scholarship at Cincinnati State to support the next generation of women brewers. Yep. So, yeah, it would make sense if it was for International Women's Day. Moving on. This is the one that I am so excited about. The return of Calliope. This is a actual funky beer again. Julia says, brewed by our head brewer, Hannah, in honor of International Women's Day. This Pear Midwest Fruit Tart. Yeah. So, International Women's Day. This is not only a wild beer, it is also a wet hop beer. Great beer. I have some of this. I believe I have some of this in my fridge that I'm just waiting to drink. I have some of this still, and I have some of... what is the other hoppy wild beer they did? God, I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, it's there, just waiting to be drank. But yeah, I'm so excited to get this back, and hopefully this kicks off kind of more of a trend of them doing stuff like this, because it's great. This is they have it dated on there, April of 2024, which they did on the other ones. You had different kind of, because they do change the wild yeast in there does kind of evolve and change. The hops start to fall over time, and you get more of like the, let's go down a little rabbit hole. So part of why I like wild IPAs is that when they're fresh, you get all of those fresh hops. It's flavors that you're familiar with. Over time, the fruity kind of personality of the wild yeast starts to take over, and it still is some of those same types of flavors, those same kind of fruity notes, but they taste different. It's a different type of fruit, almost. Not almost. It's a different type of fruit flavor, and it's fun to watch as that kind of transition happens. And if you crack one open now, it still is going to taste fruity, but it's a whole different fruit than it was when it was fresh. And then you get that funkiness alongside. Oh, they're so good. Like, just so delicious. And, yep, definitely excited to get my hands on this. It is brewed with fresh local hops from Ohio Valley Hops. Shout out to Dave and Nina Volkman from Ohio Valley Hops. Good people. And I can't wait to try this beer. I love it. Love that we're seeing this. Ward, this is another fruit tart from them, vanilla key lime. Nothing too crazy there. This is the Willow Run, kind of going back to that a little bit. This is personalized bourbon blended products. I'll definitely talk about them when they open up. I'll go down there and I'll make some stuff, and we'll make some videos and share with you. Another one. And that is it for labels. Some good stuff. But man, this move with you see products that between the contract brewers, between the custom blended things, like there's just, it gets confusing for people, and like they don't really know what anything is. And we're starting to see brands pop up, be it Motors Brewing Company, or Zach Hawley was talking about one earlier that we'll be talking about very soon, that they're just brands. They are not making their own beer. They are contracting it somewhere, even if they're showing up on brew day and hanging out and making sure things are done kind of the way they want it done. It's still made somewhere else. It exists in brand form only. Garage Beer is that way now. It exists in brand form. It is brewed in multiple places. It's a change than what we were always. Well, I shouldn't say that because there always have been contract brewers, but it's definitely it's more in your face with smaller kind of local focused brands, I guess, than I think we've ever really seen. It used to be that if somebody was contracting, it was because they needed a whole bunch of beer and they couldn't afford or didn't want to start their own brewery at that point. It's different now. It's almost like when we used to have places that were thinking about opening up and they would do like a Kickstarter. But this is kind of the new version of that. And bear with me while I explain that because that might not make a lot of sense. People used to do Kickstarters as a way to kind of test the waters and to see how people felt about the brand and if there were enough people that could kind of get behind a brand and then prove it to a bank and all kinds of stuff. That's kind of what this is now. Like you can start a contracted brand and you can make some beer. And then if it sells well, you can make a little more beer. And if that sells well, you can make a little more beer. And then maybe if that sells well, then you can say, you know what, we're going to open up our own facility. And I think that's what we're seeing now from some of these places that are doing it this way, which it's not a bad thing. It's just a different thing that I think a lot of people are used to. So keep your eye on that. Keep your eye on the ever-changing industry around us because we're just seeing the beginning of it. It's good. It's all good. Growth is growth. Evolution is evolution. As long as there's good beer being made or good drinks being made, I'm fine with it. With that, we are almost at an hour, and we should start wrapping things up. The cocktail was good. You guys did a good job. I'm gonna make myself another drink as soon as we wrap this up. So let's do that. Let's wrap it up. Thank you guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me every week. It does mean a lot to me. If you like this show, if you like any of the shows that I do or any of the things that I do, you know the drill at this point. You can go to thegnarlygnome.com/support and you can support that way. And that also helps a lot. If you want to hang out and have a beer, we're planning kind of a fun little trip very soon. Julia says your next drink should use numbers 2, 2, and 3. I threw the cards. I don't even know where any of them are anymore. There's some over here. Here's a 3. This one is triple sec. We already used that one. Here's a 2. Maraschino, we'll do that. A 3, rum and maraschino. And I need another 2. That's gin. I don't have all my cards. They're gone. All right, we'll do rum, maraschino, and lime is the choice that's jumping out to me. But maybe, yeah, we're gonna do lime, rum, lime, maraschino. Thank you guys. But if you want to hang out and have a beer with me and with some of the other local podcasters around town, stay tuned. We'll put something together so that everybody can kind of know what's happening at some point. We're going to Columbus, and we're going to drink a whole bunch of Columbus and make some stuff, so some content. And I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be something. So stay tuned for that, and we will definitely be sharing more about it very soon. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week. I never know what buttons are what here, guys. There we go. That's the right one. We'll be back next week. Same place. Hopefully on time next week. Kids. It's never on time. It won't be on time. Anyways, thank you very much. We'll see you then. I feel like rum, lime, and maraschino is also probably a cocktail. It's probably a thing. All of these are things. Everything's been done before. There's nothing original anymore. Well, I think I'm okay with it. I'm going to go be unoriginal. Yeah.